What's up, YouTube? So on today's video, I'm going to be showing how to do the fuel system repair on this BMW X3 that I have at my house. I need to check and see what year this thing is. I can't remember. It says a 2005 3.0 liter BMW X3. This is the car that has the all the wiring for the fuel system is missing all the insulation off of it. So I'll flip the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. So I showed this in one of my Audi builds when I was discussing other vehicles on the property, but you can see the fuel sender arm basically rusted away and fell off inside the freaking tank. All the wiring is missing all the insulation off of it. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but that tank is freaking gross. So what I'm gonna do, clean gas tanks out, add the wiring, and throw a battery in this thing and see what else is wrong with it. Once I get the pumps replaced and the senders replaced, I'll throw a battery in here and see what else may be wrong with this car. Like I said in my previous one of my Audi videos, this car has been sitting here for about a year and a half. My buddy bought it for his daughter. Bought it with the fuel system problem. Said there may be clutch problems with it, and asked me to fix the fuel system. And he bought the wrong fuel pump for it. Brought it over here, and I pulled it apart and told him he needed a fuel pump. Sent him the right part number, but he bought one for a two-wheel drive instead of a four-wheel drive. So then the pandemic hit. Finally brought me the parts to fix this car about a month ago, and I told him he had to wait until I was done with my Audi. So now that the Audi's registered and driving and everything, I'm gonna do the repair work on this. So I'm gonna go through the full procedure of cleaning them, replacing all the pump and the senders and the wiring that's inside the tanks, and then reassembling and showing what else is wrong with the car. So hope y'all enjoy. All right, guys, FYI, the way that you remove these caps for the fuel pump and for the sender unit is you just turn them. The way that I break them loose is I take a flathead screwdriver, stick it in there, and hit the other end with a hammer and drive it until it unscrews. Once you get that off, then that cap will come off. And now I should be able to pull that out, and then you can see this one still has some insulation on the wires, but not much. Actually, no, it doesn't. The insulation is, so the insulation's gone off of every one of these freaking wires. So I got to remove that. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is. So I have to remove that, and then I have to remove all that and then clean the gas tank out. All right, guys, so this is some of the crap that's coming out of the gas tank. Now you'll see why I need to remove the gas tank to clean it out. I can't let that shit run through the pump. So I'm gonna still keep trying to clean it from up top. If I can get it clean enough, I won't drop the tank, but I'm really hesitant about not dropping the tank. I think I'm gonna do it regardless. All right, so now that I've got it out of the vehicle, you can actually see what's going on. So like I say, all these wires have no insulation on any of them. I mean, to me, that seems like it would be a pretty significant issue. Because, I mean, this has a little bit of insulation on it, and now it's gone. I mean, I've never seen a car do this to the fuel wiring before. I mean, I know it's possible, but this is the first time I've ever seen it. But it seems like a pretty major issue. I mean, you can see every single wire in this system has no insulation on it. I mean, I would think that you could run the risk of these two wires right here shorting out and causing a spark, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong, but that seems like a safety issue if that's the case. I mean, I don't know. It just seems very odd to me. But the other problem that I have is when I pulled all this stuff out every one of these freaking hoses was just so dry rotted and brittle that they just snapped apart. I mean, you even just barely touched them and they snapped. I don't know the routing of some of these hoses because they were broken when I opened the gas tank. So I'm gonna have to research and find a diagram that shows me the layout of how each one of these hoses hooks up, because I don't want to get them in the wrong order. The damn thing won't run if I don't have the fuel pump pressure going out the right way, because this is a suction pump to transfer the fuel from the left side of the tank to the right side of the tank, because it goes over top of the drive shaft for the rear axle. So it has to have a way to transfer the gas from this side of the tank over to this side of the tank, and that's what this suction pump does. It actually has it's no electrical pump or anything like that. It uses suction from the main pressure pump to actuate it, and from the fuel return. There's your pressure regulator inside the suction pump. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of research, figure out how each one of these lines goes, and I'm gonna continue to try and clean the gas tank out and see if I can do it without dropping the tank. Because if I drop the tank, I got to drop the exhaust, rear drive shaft, the rear suspension, the freaking emergency brake cables. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that has to be removed just to remove the gas tank. So I'm going to continue trying to clean it from the top and see what I can do. But if I can't get it clean enough for what I expect, then I'm not gonna have a choice. I'll have to drop the tank. All right, guys, so I just got done figuring out how all this stuff goes. So the two ground wires that come off of the pump ground wire, so you see it hooked into the pump ground wire down there. One of them hooks into the back side of the fuel pressure regulator. The other one hooks to the fuel filter. There's a slot in the fuel pressure regulator for it to sit in, and that one's a little crooked, but this is gonna sit down. This is the fuel filter. And because it's got these tabs right here on the back of it, it's going to hold it in a certain orientation in that location back there. So now I already have the fuel pump and the fuel level sending unit installed. The pump, which this is probably going to get very difficult to see, but the pump has two tabs on the back side of it that you have to release in order to, let me move these wires out of the way. But you have to remove those two, or you have to relieve those two tabs in order to get the pump to come up. You can see one of them right there behind that black hose sticking in the top. All right, but once you release those two tabs, the whole pump just pulls straight up. This fuel level sending unit, I'm gonna try and circle it when I edit the video, but if you pull up on that tab that's in the very center, not the bright white one, but the almost almond color one at the very front of it, about an inch down, or an inch to the left. I don't know what the orientation of this thing is, but it's in the center of the thing. I won't be able to point to it because you won't be able to see it, but there, you should see it a little bit better. If you pull up on that little hook sticking on the front of the tang and push down on the fuel level sending unit, it will pop straight out. So pull up on that tab and push down on the sending unit, pops right out. But I'll cut back to the video after I get all this plumbed in. So this fitting has a connection down inside the tank. This fitting is going to be hooked up to the pressure line from the pump. This fitting is the one that goes up to the lid that provides pressure for the rest of the system. And then I have an evap hookup right here and right there, and that's going to be hooked into the bigger fittings on the lid, and I'll show you when I get to that point. All right, guys, this is the only part that I don't have to finish the repair on the BMW. I thought I had everything, but I'm missing this wiring jumper harness. It goes from the main connector on the fuel pump over to the secondary fuel level sensor, because it's got the split tank. It's one solid tank, but it's because it's got the hump in the center, it has to have two different sensors. So yeah, I'm gonna contact my buddy, the guy that owns this thing, and ask him what he wants me to do, if he wants to order a replacement or what, because if it was my car, I'd replace it. I don't know what I mean, he may want me to solder in wires and let it rip like this, but I'm not really a fan of that. So I'll see what he wants to do and make a decision from there. All right, guys, so I got the BMW back assembled. I've got the fuel pump installed back in there. I've got the both sender units installed. I've got the battery charging right now. Once the battery charges up, I'll throw the battery back in here. I'm gonna run up to the store and get some gas, fill this thing up, and see what else is wrong with this thing. Hopefully it'll start. All right, let's see if this thing starts up. Oh yeah, the clutch already feels messed up. So even if it does run, I don't think the clutch is gonna work. Damn it. The positive battery terminal is missing the tightening nut. And now I can't get in the damn trunk. This thing definitely sounds like crap. It's missing like hell. It already has the damn check engine light on. So I'm gonna have to get a code reader and see what the hell this thing's saying's wrong with it now. But at least it starts up. All right, guys, so as you saw in the video, the BMW is back running. It's not running well, but it is running. Just spoke with the owner of the car. He's supposed to be getting me plugs, wires, air filter, all the stuff that's necessary to do a basic tune-up on this thing. And then once I do that, I'll see where the rest of the problems are with the car. But the clutch feels really bad in it. Clutch is more than likely going to have to be replaced. Either that, or it may just be the slave cylinder or the master cylinder, because it feels like a pedal. The clutch still moves the car pretty easy. So I'd like to see if it's just maybe there's air in the system, or maybe there's a bad slave cylinder or master cylinder. If it's a hydraulic system, I don't even know if it's a cable system or hydraulic. I'm assuming that it's a hydraulic system because it's a BMW. But that's gonna finish this video. It gives the full repair on the fuel system. So as I dig deeper into this car, I'll do updates on what it takes to get this thing running back smooth again. It does have 195,000 miles on it. It's got all kinds of check gauges, lights going off. It's got service 4-wheel drive, check engine light. Immediately, as soon as I started it, it had a check engine light. It's got all 4 of the doors are showing open. So it's got a lot of problems. It's probably had ants or mice or something get into the electronics. I may have to look at some of the wiring and see what's going on, because I don't know how long this thing sat before he bought it, because this thing hasn't been registered. The tags expired, I think, in 2017. So this thing's been sitting for a while. Yeah, tags expired in 2017. So this thing's been sitting for at least freaking 4 years. We'll see where this progresses. I'm going to try and, like I say, I'm going to try and figure out what's wrong with the motor, get it running a little bit better for him, and see where we go from there. But hope this helps other people that are dealing with the fuel pump issue in a BMW X3. I know that I said X5 in the very beginning of the video. I just misspoke. It's an X3 3.0 liter 4-wheel drive. So hopefully that helps. But have a good one. If you like what you saw in this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let your friends see what I'm doing. Help this channel grow, and maybe we can start doing some really cool shit on this channel instead of just this basic stuff. So hope y'all enjoyed.